Welcome to Good Morning Gwinnett with your host, Audrey Bell-Kearney, where we keep you informed, inspired, and ahead of the curve. Tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Audrey dives into the latest strategies and tools to help you leverage AI to grow your local business. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a tech enthusiast, or just curious about the future of business, this is the podcast for you. Get ready to innovate, elevate, and dominate in Gwinnett County and beyond.
Good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land, all of my friends around the world. It is another rainy day here in Georgia, 38 degrees, going up to a high of 42. So happy to be here with you guys today. I got my studio back up, so I'm actually sitting very comfortably in my studio at my microphone where I feel like I do my best work. Now, don't get me wrong. When I have to improvise, I will definitely use my phone. But I got to tell you, it feels really good to sit here at my microphone and be able to talk. So, hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your day. Today is Hump Day, baby. It is Wednesday. You have made it to the MIDDLE, the middle. I know somebody's saying, thank God, thank God, and thank God. I got a kind of short show today, and the reason because I wasn't expecting my studio to be up, and I was kind of like annoyed. So I don't have an article prepared or anything like not for the show. I will have an article prepared on the website later, but I wanted to talk about my topic today is about being unapologetically you, right? Being authentic in life and in business. And the reason I wanted to talk about that was because I had a couple of things that some things I've been working on and some things that I've been a part of and some things that just wasn't bringing me joy. And I thought about that. I said, I'm not happy with a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. I'm not happy with some of the people that I'm around. I'm just not happy about certain things in my life. And here's the thing, I can change those things. It's my choice, right? And I had to sit back and I had to think about that. And I wasn't happy with how much money I was charging for things. I just wasn't happy about a lot of things. Now I'm happy about a lot of things, but there were some things that I wasn't happy about. And I had to sit back there and I had to think about that. And I give you a prime example. I met someone about 2 weeks ago, and they were trying to get a business off the ground. Let me back up. I'm gonna back all the way up. I had a conversation with somebody last year. I want to say it was last summer, and they were talking about starting a business, right? I sat on the phone with them probably 30 minutes, and I was like, they asked me, could I help? Absolutely, I can help. It's what I do, right? And I said, well, let's do a formal consultation first. And I told them the price, which is like $3.95 for like 90 minutes, right? Which is cheap. That's cheap. I know it's cheap, but I felt like it was a good price. And they said, okay, and then I never heard from them again till this year. Like that was last summer. I heard from them again this year, right? Same story. Want to start this business, want to do this, want to do this, want to do this, right? And I was like, okay, so let's set up a formal consultation so we can do an assessment. I can help you get started. And they was like, yeah, how much is it gonna cost us? It's gonna cost $3.95. Oh, that's a lot. Here's the thing. If you are having a struggle paying $3.95, you can't start a business. You can, but you can't start one that's going to require you money. And the type of business they were trying to start was a brick and mortar, like that was going to cost them a lot of money. So if you're struggling trying to pay $3.95, then you're going to struggle with the business because you got to pay for the building, you got to pay for the license, you got to pay for the marketing, you got to pay for the equipment, you have to pay for everything. If $3.95 is a struggle, then you shouldn't call me. So they were saying, oh, that's a lot, and they were trying to explain to me why it was a lot. I was like, look, at the end of the day, just you saying that lets me know that you're not ready for that. And if you are ready, then you'll call me back and you'll be ready to pay the $3.95. It wasn't about the money. It was about you're not going to start a business for free and expect to grow rapidly. And you're definitely not going to start a brick and mortar. So I didn't back down from that. Because normally I would say, well, what can you do? I didn't say that. Because it has been an entire year almost. And if $3.95 was a problem, you should have been able to save $3.95 by now. And if that's a problem, you shouldn't be in business because it's going to cost you a lot more money. So I said all that to say I didn't back down from that $3.95. So that was the first time. That was like about a month ago. Then fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, met someone who was saying they were doing some things and, they were thinking about starting a business. I meet a bunch of folks. I meet somebody almost every other day starting a business. And they were starting a business and, they was thinking about some stuff, blah, blah, blah. And, I was like, well, I've been doing this for like 28 years and blah, 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 blah. So I'm telling my whole story. So I'm the president of this chamber. I'm an author, all these things, right? I said all these things. And then they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, want to get together, I want to talk to you about my business." Well, okay, I'm going to send you a link for a consultation. Send me your email. Never heard from them. They don't want to pay the consultation. Why do you not want to invest in yourself? You want people to invest in you, but you don't want to invest in yourself. So for me, it's like I know my value. So that's the first thing about being authentic. It took me a long time to get to the point where I knew my value. Right? I know the value I bring to the table. And I know even at $3.95, that's cheap. Because people will sit with people for 90 minutes and charge them $3,000. I'm just being generous. Right? Because I want to help. But even me trying to help at $3.95, people are hemming and hawing. And I was like, listen, you ain't got to get it from me. Go do your research. Do all of that because it's out there. The information is out there. If you want to skip the line and understand like all the pitfalls that I went through with some things, some shortcuts that you can do, some things that are legitimate shortcuts so that help you, then that's what you're paying for. You're paying to skip the line. You're paying to get a real person talking to you, sitting in front of you, talking to you about, don't do this. This is why you shouldn't do this. This is what happened when I did that. I know somebody who did that. That's what you're paying for. But if you can't see the value in that, you're not ready for this. Now you can go out and do all the research you want. Do it. Because all the information is out there. But you paying for to sit down with somebody who has lived through pretty much what you're trying to do. So the first thing in being authentic with yourself is understanding and knowing your value. Right? Know your value, know who you are, know what you want. And a lot of times you don't know who you are. You don't know what you want. You don't know what your value is. You don't know your worth. You don't. And you struggle with that. It took me a minute to understand that when people tell me this is my price, if I got the money, and I want it, I'm gonna pay for it. If I don't have the money, that's one thing. It's one thing to totally not have the money. And if you don't have the money to start something, then it's not that time. It's just not time for you to start it. Right? But if I got the money and I want it, I'm paying for it. I'm not trying to Jew people down. I'm not trying to like give me a discount. I'm not doing that because I need your information and I'm gonna pay for that because I need it to make me get to help me get to where I want to get to. Right? So it took me a minute to get to the point where I had to understand, Audrey, you help people. You help a lot of folks because you've lived a lot in this space of entrepreneurship. So it's okay for you to charge, even though I'm still not charging what I'm worth. And it's only because I really do want to help. Right? But $3.95, people are hemming and hawing about that. So you have to figure out how to be your authentic self. Here are 5 ways for I want you to do that. To be true to yourself. I'm on the truth train for Audrey. Let me say that apart again. I'm on the truth train for Audrey. I'm getting rid of anything that does not serve me, does not bring me joy and peace and happiness and prosperity and abundance. I'm just not doing it. I just don't feel like doing it anymore. And somebody's listening to the sound of my voice and like, oh my God, Audrey, this message was for me. I don't feel like doing these things anymore. So five tips to help you stay true to yourself. Know your values. Identify what truly matters to you and make decisions based on those principles. And let me say that part again. Identify what truly matters to you and make your decisions based on those principles if it truly matters to you. And the key word there being truly matters to you, then that's something you should have in your life. If it aligns with your principles, right? A job does not align with my principles. It does not align with what truly matters to me because I would be miserable. I had to realize that. If I have to do a business where I can't be able to move about the way I need to move about, that's not gonna make me happy. My husband and I, we had this conversation years ago, and I said to him, we were struggling financially because we were paying like a $4,000 mortgage, and our electric bill was like $600 to $800 a month. We had car notes, car insurance. It was a lot. We were struggling. And I said to him, I'm just going to get a job. And he said, you're not going to be happy. I said, I know. I said, but we're struggling right now. I need to do something because this entrepreneur thing ain't working. He said, yeah, but you're not going to be happy. Right? And instead of him saying, go ahead and get a job, let's get out of debt, he's like, Orgy, you're not going to be happy. And he was right. I knew I was going to be miserable. I already knew that because I can't be a caged bird. I feel like when I go to a job and I go to work, I feel like a caged bird and I'm like itching to get out. Like somebody let me out. That's just how I feel. But he said that you're not going to be happy. And he was right. I knew that wasn't going to make me happy. And that definitely was a part of like based on any principle. So it wasn't going to make me happy. So he knew that better than I did at the time. I was just looking at, oh my God, we're in debt. I want to get out of this debt. And so we found another way. We sold the house and we got out of the debt. That was what we did. Sold the house, got out of the debt, moved to Georgia. But for a second, I was going to get a job. And he would constantly say, you're not going to be happy. And I was like, yeah, but you know, he said, you're not going to be happy. And he was right. So we sold the house and we moved to Georgia. And I love every second of that. All right. Number 2, trust your intuition. That gut thing, that thing you feel that's kind of rising up inside of you, trust that. Trust it. Because it's not lying to you. Look, if you feel like, something just ain't right. And I get that feeling all the time about a lot of things and a lot of people. And I'm telling you, it's the craziest thing because I get it and it's so strong and people don't even understand. Like they are talking to me and my gut is saying, don't trust them. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're not saying. It's like crazy stuff. And I'm sitting there going, ooh, right? I had a conversation earlier this morning about 7 o'clock with somebody, right? And they were talking to me. And I said something, right? And I was expecting a different response. I said it twice so I can make sure I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it, but I wanted to make sure. So I said it twice. And I never got the response that I would have given. Right? I never got the response that if they had said that to me, it would have been the response that I was looking for. They didn't give it to me. And I said, okay, that's how we rolling. All right. So when I get that feeling, like, yeah, just know, Audrey. Yeah, just know. So now I know. I know. And so when you know better, you're supposed to do better. And when people show you who they are, you should believe them. Trust your intuition. Listen to that little inner voice. It's telling you something and you're trying to ignore it. Don't ignore it. Don't listen. If your inner voice is saying do this because it's going to make you feel good, then do that. If your inner voice is saying, pump the brakes. This don't feel good to you. You know it doesn't. I'm here to tell you, pump the brakes. Then don't do it. Listen to the inner voice. You ain't got to go out there and ask nobody for permission. You ain't got to seek approval from other folks. Listen to your inner voice. It's telling you and here's the thing. If your inner voice is telling you something that you're struggling with, you need to just take a second and meditate. Because sometimes our inner voice is telling us something and we say, yeah, but I really want to do that. Do you really want to do it? Because now you got to ask yourself, why? Why do you really want to do it? If it's going to bring you joy and peace and all the things you want, it aligns with your principles and what truly matters, go for it. But your intuition normally don't lie. I'm just saying that little inner voice, it normally does not lie. I have had something that I've been I've been kind of struggling with for probably 6 to 8 months. And finally on Sunday, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm just not. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not doing it. I'm not happy. It's not bringing me joy. I'm just not doing it. I woke up and I said that and I was like, it just came out of nowhere. But it didn't come out of nowhere because I had been struggling with it for about 6 months. And I was like, and I, asked God in the universe, should I do this? And they was like, nope, hold on. This time my gut was like, well, you ain't got to ask nobody. You don't want to do it. It does not make you happy. Don't do it. And I was like, yeah, it doesn't. And when I said that, y'all, I felt like this weight was off my shoulders because it wasn't bringing me joy. It brings me no joy. Just the thought of it brings me unhappiness. Oof. Which is crazy, right? And it was me subjecting myself to that. It wasn't the thing, it was me. Because I could have just said I didn't want to do it. Embrace your uniqueness, right? Stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop that. I know I'm a unique person. I don't compare myself to anybody. I'm unique. I'm strange. I'm weird. I like alien stuff. They're gonna touch down. They're gonna reach out to me. I don't know what I'm gonna do when they do. I am who I am. I'm creative. I can think on my toes really quick. I'm a problem solver. I'm that person. I embrace that part of me. I've always embraced that part of me. But some people won't do that. They want to embrace the uniqueness that they are. They want to embrace like what makes them like this outgoing, this sweet, this whatever kind of. They want to embrace that because they're so busy looking at other folks and what they're doing and trying to compare themselves to them. That's the crazy. I've never done that. I've never done that. Like to me, if someone is doing well, this is what I want to know. Hey, my hand is raised. How'd you do that? That's my question. I ain't comparing myself. Tell me how you did it. Because I want to do it too. But I want to do it in my lane. See, this is my lane, what I'm in right now talking to y'all. I want to do what you did in my lane because if you did it in your lane, I probably can adapt it so it'll work in my lane. But I'm not comparing myself to you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do that. They won't do their own thing. They don't understand how their own individual strength. They just won't do it. I want you to take a minute and say, what makes me unique? I know I'm unique. I know to some folks I'm straight. I said to my husband last night something totally crazy, and he said to me, "You okay?" It was hilarious though, because I was saying I just wonder what people are thinking right now about all the stuff that's going on in the world. Right? I said I just wonder, and it was just a thought that because I was wondering like what are they thinking like for real. But I said something crazy. I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want to put that out to the universe again. But it was something nuts. And he said, "You okay?" It was hilarious. It was so funny. And I was like, "I'm fine." But that was something that I was wondering. I feel like I could share it with you. You're laying right here next to me, you know. But he knows that. He knows that I'm a unique person. He's unique. I'm unique. You're unique. You have something so wonderful about you, but you have to embrace that thing. You have to stop comparing yourself to other folks. You have to embrace your own individuality and your strengths and your weaknesses. Because I have weaknesses, I do. One thing I like to eat at night. That's a weakness. I get it. Doesn't help me health wise, but it's a weakness that I have identified. And I know that I have it, right? And I work on it mentally. I need to do more work so I can stop completely. But here's the thing, it makes me who I am. I ain't comparing myself to the person who do 20, 200 sit-ups before they go to bed and 75 push-ups. I'm not comparing myself to them. I'm not beating myself up about the fact that I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm not saying I'm a terrible person because I didn't do it because I'm not. That's not what I did. Right? So stop comparing yourself to other people. Embrace who you are, the uniqueness of who you are. All right. Oh my God, this is such a big one. Speak your truth. Oh, that's a big one. Speak your truth. Listen, speak your truth. Whatever it is, be honest about your feelings and your beliefs. I just told y'all aliens, I believe them. I believe in a higher power. I believe Jesus walked this earth, but I believe a whole lot of folks walk the earth like Jesus, not just Jesus. I believe Jesus was one of many. I believe that there are some other folks walking this earth right now that can perform miracles. They're hidden. That's what I believe. That's my truth. Someone reached out to me when I wrote the Lyran Legacy, right? So the Lyran Legacy is a book that I had an idea for watching after watching something on YouTube. Never heard of Lyran or Lyra, which is a star system. Never heard of any of that stuff. And star seeds. I never heard of any of that stuff. But that type of stuff intrigues me, right? This is my truth. So I did some research and it started talking about what a Lyran star seed was. It was that person was everything it said sounded like me. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Now, mind you, I had never heard of a Lyran star seed ever in my life until this one night I was watching YouTube, which I told y'all I watched late at night right before I go to sleep. So I was so intrigued by it. I started looking at all the star systems and all these different things. We've heard of Osiris. We've heard that's a star. These are stars. We've heard of Sirius, which is a star. It's not Sirius Radio. It's a star system, Sirius, right? That's what Sirius get the name from. We've heard of those things, right? We've heard of Andromeda. But these are also star seeds. So but you heard of Andromeda probably like on Batman or Superman or something like because I think the first time I heard Andromeda had to be in some kind of Marvel TV show or movie or something. Andromeda, or Star Wars or something. I've heard that's when I heard it. But anyway, it makes sense, right? So I started to do the research on it. I was like, this is fascinating. Like there are thousands and thousands, maybe millions of people who believe that there are these things called star seeds. I just happen to think maybe I'm a star seed. So I wrote this book. I had me and Chat GPT. Let me not lead Chat GPT and I wrote this book called The Lyran Legacies. And I wrote the book. I published it. It's on Amazon. As a matter of fact, I just got my first royalty from digital draft to digital, which I was excited about. That not a lot of money, but money because I've never did that either, which is pretty cool. And wrote the book, and I was excited about the book. Well, I went to I went to someone's birthday brunch, and I was telling people I wrote this book. Now everybody at the table was pretty much into church, right? I have nothing against church. I grew up in the church. They were in church, so I didn't think anything about it. So I sharing that I wrote this book, and people's like, "Oh, share it with me. I purchased the book." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Great, right?" So about 4 days later, I get this call from one of the ladies. I don't know her. I don't even know how she got my number, but she got my number. She calls like, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm good." She's like, "Yeah." She said, um, I looked at your book on Amazon. I said, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Yeah, you know that's New Age, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah, and that's not Christianity." I was like, "Okay." So she actually calls her trying to call me out, and I said, "Look." I said that book talk, and honestly, the book is talking about nothing but how to save the freaking world. That's what it's talking about. I said that book is talking about how to save humanity. If that's a problem for people, then that's their problem, because it's not saying anything, it's not talking about anything bad. It's talking about how we need to get together to save the effing earth. Like, why are you calling me? It was the craziest thing. I was so disgusted by that. And so I was like, let me tell you something. And I say this to anybody, and these are my beliefs. Speak your truth and be honest about your feelings and your beliefs. Before the Bible was written by these men, because the Bible was written by men, 5,000 years ago, there's writings on walls all over the world that somebody else wrote. Let me say that again. There are writings on walls all over the world that somebody else wrote. They left images, they left messages. How do you expect me to not pay attention to all of these things because some man over in Germany wrote this book that he said some other man wrote 2,000 years ago? Now, remind you, I just said these writings are on the wall 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, 13,000 years ago before the Bible was even written. And I know somebody's going to get me on this. Don't waste your time. It's not going to change my thought patterns. So don't call me, don't email me, don't waste your time, because I cannot ignore physical history that we can see. I'm not saying the Bible isn't true. What I'm saying is you telling me that I should take everything I believe and put it in one book when there are drawings on walls all over this. There are pyramids that stand so tall and the bricks weigh so much. How do they get built? To me, this is my truth. There is no way for me, Audrey, to shut my eyes to that type of history and base everything on my life on one book. It's just not. Not for me. Not for me. Because that book came 3,000 years after these things. 3,000 years. Right? After all of the stuff that's on the walls. And here's the thing. The book came, and then these men over in Germany decided they was going to take the book. They was going to put what they wanted to put in the book, leave some stuff out the book. And I'm supposed to believe that, okay, I can't. But these are Audrey's belief. This is my truth. I can't do that. So I said to her, I can't do that. I can't close my eyes to history. You may be able to do that. I can't do that. There were things that happened before the Bible came along. You can't find Christians in the Bible anywhere. She said, because I'm a Christian. Okay, you're a Christian. But that's not even in the Bible. Somebody made that up and called you that, and you said, okay, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. It has nothing to do with me. But don't judge me for being me. Work on your own self. You go ahead and you live by the Bible. That's what you do. I live by, okay. That's what you do. I, Audrey, can't close a blind eye to all of the history that's all over the world that nobody can explain. Some guy decided he was going to put these books together and tell y'all this is what it was when it's 3,000 years worth of other knowledge that you just want to ignore. Why would I do that? That's what you want to do? Knock yourself out. So after she got off that call with me, I'm thinking she probably figured I should never have called her. You should not, because I didn't call you and say you do know that there's 3,000 years worth of knowledge that's not in the Bible that came before the Bible. I don't call any Christian to say that. Believe what you want to believe. That's your truth. Those are your beliefs. Don't knock me for mine. I ain't knocking you for yours. When Saint Germain decided he wanted to put the Bible together over in wherever he was and leave out books and all, nope. Listen, that's his thing. That was him and his people. They decided they was only going to put stuff in there that they thought was good. It's history. Go read your history. Go read something. Go read the history of how the Bible got made. And I said to her, look, Christian's not even in the Bible. She's like, well, it's not. Nope, it's not. So by you saying I'm a Christian means nothing to me. That's not even in the Bible. It's not even in, you can't find it because it's not in there. And the day it becomes in the Bible, that's because somebody decided they wanted to rewrite the Bible again and put it in there. I'm just saying. I remember a long time ago, I was still living in Jersey. And this is not an episode about religion. It's about speaking your truth and being honest about your feelings and your beliefs. Those are my beliefs. I can't ignore all of the history that's out there in the world. I can't. Oh, horoscopes are evil. Why do you think that? Who? First of all, there are stars in the sky. There are planets. Did anybody ever ask themselves, how do we know that Mars is red? Answer that question. See, this is the kind of stuff I be talking about. Oh, you can't believe that's evil. That's witchcraft. The horoscopes. There are stars in the sky that the Mayans learn from, or somebody taught them. That's why we can count to this day. Like without them putting an arithmetic system in place, we wouldn't be able to count. But they taught us how to count. Somebody taught them that, right? How do we know that there is a planet called Mars and that is red? We knew that for a long time, the red planet. We knew that. And guess what? It is a red planet. They have sent rovers up there. They're roving around on Mars and the planet is red. How do we know that? How? How do we know that? Somebody told us that there was a planet called Mars and it's red. But nobody, people want to believe what they want to believe. And I believe what you want to believe. But I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to be honest about my feelings and my beliefs, and those are mine. Oh my God. And this is a biggie. Live with integrity. This is number 5, and this is my last one. Live with integrity. Align your actions with your values, even when it's hard. Let me tell you something. Whew. I don't proclaim to be perfect because I'm not. But I do try my very, 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 very best to be a person of integrity. Do I slip up every now and again? Yes. But it's pretty much in private. Right? Pretty much in private. I remember I used to love to eat intimate cookies, right? Intimate cookies. I don't even know if they make them anymore. And I would go to the store. I went to the store and I bought me some. I was buying some groceries and I had bought some intimate cookies. Well, the girl forgot to ring up the cookies, right? And I could have and she put the cookies in the bag and I saw her. Now, I could have just walked right on out the store and I said to her, "You forgot to ring up the cookies." And somebody looked at me like, "You got to be kidding me." That's a person of integrity. See, I ain't got to walk around here and think about stuff that I've done to somebody that was wrong, because I don't think I really did anything wrong to anybody. I haven't stabbed anybody in the back. I haven't tried to take from them. I haven't tried to steal from them. I haven't tried to steal ideas from them. I've done none of those things, because for me, that's going to come back on me. Now, there's one thing that I've done that I live with every day, and I had to forgive myself for that thing. It's pretty, and I still live with it, right? But I think that taught me a serious lesson about having integrity, because I feel like it is something that has kind of haunted me for a very long time. And I've asked for forgiveness. I've given myself some grace, but it's still there. And I think that one thing and that was one of the things. Audrey, you got to be better. You got to be a better person. You can't be jealous and envious, and you can't be doing things behind people's backs, and you just can't be doing those type of things, right? If it's something where you are involved and and you're doing dirty things to people, it's gonna come back and bite you. And I was like, yeah, be a person. If your word is your word, then make your word your word. Keep your word. You know, live with integrity, because when people start to find out that you lie, you cheat, you steal, you backstab. Let me say this. I'm not gonna say people. When I find out that you cheat, lie, steal, and backstab, I have a problem with that. It's hard for me to recover from those type of things. I may forgive, but it's always stuck in the back of my mind. This person stabbed me in the back. This person said some shit that wasn't true. Excuse my French. It's like, ooh, that's not good right there. And I may still love you. We may still be cool. But in the back of my mind is sitting there that this person, they did some dirt. You don't want that to be you. You don't want that to be what people think about you subconsciously. Yeah, I can't really trust you because you did some dirt. People live with integrity and they won't think that about you. Be a person of integrity. Now, I can tell you this. I can tell you what I've learned. I've learned that when you are a person of integrity and you deal with people who lack integrity or may have not had integrity about some things, because they know the dirt they've done, they won't trust you. How about that? And I'm saying to myself, and I say this all the time, don't be projecting your trash on me. That's you did. I ain't do that. But because you did it, you feel like I'll do it. I won't do that because I gotta live with myself. And I can't live with myself like that. You know? Have I done things that I was like, yeah, that's bad? I have. But I've asked for forgiveness and I've forgiven myself. And the things that I've done, do people know about it? Maybe some of them. Because I'm not perfect. But I've learned to this day right now, I try to do my best to be a person of integrity. I do. So align your actions with your values, even when it's hard. And sometimes it is really hard. Like, oh my effing God, is it hard? Sometimes you just want to do some stuff and it is just bad. And you be like, oh my God, I just want to do this thing right here. But if you do it, are you living with integrity? I'm just asking a question. Just asking a question. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. I just, I ain't even got to close out with a I ain't even got to close out with no closing statement. I want you to be unapologetically you. I want you to understand the power of authenticity in your life and in your business. I want you to be a person with integrity. I want you to embrace who you really are. Speak your truth. Be honest about your feelings and your belief, and don't apologize for those things. That's who you are. That's what makes you unique. The fact that I'll sit and watch the History Channel all day because it intrigues me. It's who I am. It's how I learn stuff. I know there are some people right now that's gonna hear this show and they're gonna think I'm the devil because I'm saying, it ain't just the Bible. Because some people live totally by the Bible. They don't believe anything else, which I think to me that's nuts. Like, you can't tell me that there's a pyramid with one block that weighs like 10,000 pounds and somebody built it and put it how? And they put it at the very top of the pyramid. Have you seen the pyramids before? We have pyramids right here in Georgia. Pyramids in Georgia. This woman called me one time. She paid me to be on my show. And she was saying she had an Airbnb. It wasn't making money, right? And so we were talking. I was telling her, it was kind of like it was a live show talking about the Airbnb. But after the show, she took and said to me, yeah, we got a pyramid down the street. I said, like a real pyramid? I want to say she was in Illinois. She's a real. She's like, yeah. I said, why did you say that on the show? Because people who want to see a real pyramid in the United States, you can use that as an attraction for your Airbnb. So you can say, hey, we can do tours over to the pyramid. She said, there's a pyramid in the town down the street from the house, from the Airbnb. I'm thinking that should be a part of your marketing package because I've never seen. They say it's a pyramid here in Georgia. And I need to go find it. Maybe I will find it this summer. But I've never seen a pyramid in real life. And I probably would never go to Egypt. I want to go to Egypt, but the way things are going, I probably never will go. Planes falling out the sky, all kinds of crazy. I probably never going to go to Egypt now at this point. That's something I probably regret because I should have been gone. But I said to her, you should have said that on the show because that could be a part of your marketing package, that your Airbnb is centrally located to this historical pyramid. And I didn't think about that. Right. But here's the thing. Who built the pyramid? Nobody knows where the pyramid came from. Know why? Because the pyramid was here before all of us. 3, 4, 5,000 years ago. Right in the United States, we have pyramids. We don't talk about our pyramids over here because we over here want to hide everything. We don't want you to wake up. We don't want you to get woke, as they say. We don't want you to be woke over here. We want you to not. They don't even talk about it. I'm saying this right now. People saying, Audrey, we don't have pyramids. There are pyramids right here in Georgia. There's one in Dahlonega. And here's the crazy thing. I heard that they got it blocked off so people can't go to it. Why? Why is it blocked off? Is it dangerous? Or you just don't want people talking about it? Because now it's going to help you wake up. Right? Dahlonega. They say there's a pyramid right here in Dahlonega, Georgia. And I heard it's blocked off. There are pyramids all over the United States that nobody talks about. You go to Egypt, that's all people talk about. Here in the United States, we're going to keep it a secret. Why? Because they want to keep you in the dark about everything. And you choose to live in the dark. I'm not living in the dark. I choose not to. I suggest you don't either. Open up your eyes. Wake up. I know they don't want you to be woke, but wake up. Wake up. All right, that's all I got for you today. You could have been anywhere in the world. We just spent the last 35 minutes with me, and I love and appreciate you for that. If you miss any episodes of this show, be sure to go to goodmorninggwinnett.com to listen to past episodes there and check out all of the articles that I have on the website, goodmorninggwinnett.com. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. It feels so good to be able to talk to my mic like this because I'm animated when I'm doing this. When I was doing it with my phone yesterday, I did it, but it wasn't the same. But anyway, I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. God willing. Until next time, my friends. Until next time. Make it a great day. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Good Morning Gwinnett, where we bring AI innovation to the heart of your local business. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to support the show for only $5.99 a month. Just click the support link in the show notes. Your contribution helps keep this show running and your business growing. Missed an episode or want to catch up on local news? Visit us anytime at goodmorninggwinnett.com. Until next time, stay innovative on your grind.